we're diving into Tron today.
TRX.
TRX.
Yeah. Big comeback.
Huge GE comeback.
70%.
A potential 70% price jump. And, analysts are buzzing about it.
They are.
It could mean some serious gains.
Yeah, a 70% jump is not something...
Not every day.
Not something you see every day, especially in crypto where things are so volatile.
Yeah, exactly. And for this deep dive, we're going beyond the hype, to see if this prediction actually holds water.
Love it.
We've got some charts, some data on Tron's profitability, and even some insights into its deflationary nature.
Sounds like we're about to separate fact from fiction.
Exactly.
But sure.
Where do we start?
Let's start with a visual clue.
Okay.
That's making some traders pretty optimistic.
All right.
A pattern called a falling wedge.
Oh,
Now, I know that sounds a bit technical.
a little bit.
But bear with me.
I'm with you.
Okay, so imagine you're looking at a chart of Tron's price over time, and it's been steadily declining,
Okay.
but in a very specific way.
The price is making lower highs and lower lows, forming this wedge shape that gets narrower as time goes on.
Like a channel that's slowly constricting.
Yes, exactly like a channel.
Pushing the price towards a breaking point.
A breaking point precisely. And that's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Technical analysts,
Right.
they believe that when this falling wedge pattern appears, it often precedes a breakout,
Okay.
a sudden and significant price movement.
Makes sense.
And in Tron's case,
Yeah.
the prediction is for a breakout to the upside,
Okay.
meaning a surge in price.
Surge.
Yeah.
All right, so patterns on a chart,
Right.
they aren't foolproof predictors.
No, they're not.
But when you combine a falling wedge with other positive indicators,
Yes,
it can strengthen the case for a bullish trend.
exactly. And that brings us to our next piece of evidence,
All right.
Tron's impressive profitability.
Okay. Impressive in what way?
Get this, over the past 6 months, Tron has actually generated more fees than Ethereum.
Oh.
Yes, we're talking over $1.44 billion in fees for Tron,
Wow.
compared to Ethereum's $857 million.
That's a pretty significant difference.
I know, right?
I know Ethereum has been facing some challenges with high gas fees, but
Sure.
to see Tron outperform it in terms of revenue generation is certainly noteworthy.
It is, and this isn't just some abstract number.
Right.
This directly impacts you
Okay.
as a potential investor.
Got it.
Higher fees on the Tron network can translate into higher staking rewards for those holding TRX.
So there's a potential financial incentive here for those who believe in Tron's long-term growth.
Absolutely.
Essentially, you're being rewarded for holding on to your TRX.
Exactly. It's like earning interest
Okay.
on your crypto holdings just by participating in the network.
That's a pretty compelling argument for holding TRX,
I think so.
especially when you compare the staking rewards to some other popular cryptocurrencies.
Yes, for sure.
What else is fueling this potential price surge?
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
Tron is deflationary.
What? You heard that right.
So the total supply
The total supply of TRX,
is actually shrinking over time.
it is shrinking over time.
So it's not just that demand could be increasing, but the supply is also decreasing.
Yes,
Wow, that's a powerful combination.
it is last year.
Okay.
There were around 88.6 billion TRX tokens in circulation. Today, that number has dropped to 86.14 billion.
Hold on. So if we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
basic economics tells us that scarcity tends to drive up value. It's the same principle behind precious metals like gold.
Exactly. The less there is of something, the more valuable it becomes, especially if demand remains steady or increases.
Right.
This deflationary aspect of Tron
Yeah.
could be a major catalyst for a price increase.
Okay, I'm starting to see why those analysts are so bullish.
Right.
But is there enough demand to support this potential surge?
That's a great question, and the data seems to suggest the answer is yes.
Okay, so
The number of Tron users is steadily increasing.
with over 165 million Tron accounts now,
Wow.
a significant jump from last year.
That's a lot of people putting their faith in the Tron network.
It is.
More users generally mean more transactions, more activity, and potentially more upward pressure on the price.
And to add to that,
Yeah.
we can't ignore the Tether connection.
Okay, what about it?
Tron recently handled a massive $156 billion worth of Tether transactions
Wow. 156 billion.
in a single day.
That's a staggering amount.
It is.
Tether is one of the most widely used stablecoins.
It is.
So this volume speaks to Tron's real-world utility and ability to handle large-scale transactions.
It shows you that Tron isn't just some theoretical project.
Right.
It's a functioning network that people are actively using to move serious money around.
This deep dive is painting a very different picture of Tron than what I had initially thought.
Yeah.
The technical pattern, the profitability, the shrinking supply, the growing user base, and this massive tether volume.
It's all there.
It all points to a cryptocurrency that's gaining momentum.
It does, doesn't it? But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
there are a few more aspects of Tron we need to explore.
Okay.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll uncover even more factors that could impact TRX's price.
I can't wait. Welcome back to our deep dive into Tron.
Oh.
We just uncovered some pretty compelling evidence
Wait, Ed?
suggesting that TRX could be poised for a significant price jump.
It could be.
What stood out to you so far?
Honestly, I'm really struck by how Tron is quietly outperforming Ethereum
Yeah.
in terms of fee generation.
Right.
I always thought of Ethereum as the DeFi king, but it seems like Tron is challenging that dominance.
It's a fascinating development, for sure. Ethereum has a long history
It does.
and a massive developer community.
Yeah.
But it's also struggled with scalability
It has.
and those high gas fees we mentioned.
Right, those high fees.
Tron, on the other hand, has focused on building a network that prioritizes speed
Speed and affordability.
and affordability.
Yeah, and that seems to be resonating with users.
It seems to be.
Those 165 million Tron accounts aren't just numbers.
Yeah.
They represent real people
Right.
who are choosing to use the Tron network for their transactions.
Yeah. And remember that massive tether volume we talked about?
I did.
That's not happening on a network that's slow or expensive.
Not at all.
Tron is proving it can handle serious traffic
Yeah.
and facilitate large-scale transactions
They're quietly building a powerful ecosystem
under the radar.
under the radar.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
But no deep dive into Tron would be complete without talking about its founder, Justin Sun.
Oh, yeah. He's a bit of a
Controversial figure, to say the least.
controversial. Yeah.
Some call him a marketing genius,
Mm-hmm.
others a master of hype.
Yeah. Love him or hate him.
Yeah,
There's no denying that Justin Sun knows how to generate buzz.
right.
And that buzz has definitely played a role in Tron's growth.
He's certainly not afraid to make bold pronouncements
He's not.
and challenge the status quo.
No.
He's not. And while some might criticize his tactics, he's undeniably effective
Yeah.
at attracting attention and investment.
You can't argue with the results.
You can't.
And it's not just hype.
It's not.
He's also assembled a talented team of developers
Yeah.
who are constantly working to improve and expand the Tron network.
That's crucial beyond the personality and the
Right.
marketing.
Yeah,
There needs to be real technological innovation happening behind the scenes.
for sure.
And Tron has been delivering on that front.
They have, speaking of innovation,
Yeah.
I've been digging into some of the specific projects and developments happening on the Tron network. And things are getting really interesting in the realm of decentralized finance or DeFi.
DeFi.
Yeah,
It's the revolution within the revolution.
it is.
Tron has been quietly making some serious moves in this space.
They've launched their own decentralized exchanges
Okay.
and lending platforms, and people are using them. Reports show billions of dollars locked in Tron-based DeFi protocols.
That means people are using these platforms
Right.
to lend, borrow, and trade cryptocurrencies without relying on traditional financial institutions.
That's right.
It's all about cutting out the middleman and giving individuals more control over their finances.
Exactly. It's a powerful concept.
It is.
And Tron is positioning itself as a major player
Mm-hmm.
in this rapidly growing ecosystem.
It's a smart move considering the explosive growth of DeFi in recent years.
I think so.
It's one of the hottest areas in crypto, and Tron is right in the thick of it,
It is.
offering an alternative to Ethereum's high fees and congestion.
Yeah. And it's not just DeFi.
No.
Tron is also making waves in the world of NFTs.
Really?
They've created their own NFT standard,
Cool.
making it easier for artists, creators, and collectors to buy, sell, and trade digital assets on its blockchain.
I've seen some really cool NFT projects popping up on Tron.
Oh, yeah.
Digital art,
Mm.
music, virtual real estate, you name it.
There's a lot going on.
It's a testament to the network's versatility
Yes.
and its ability to support a wide range of applications.
So we've got a cryptocurrency with a strong technological foundation,
Mm-hmm.
a charismatic and sometimes controversial leader,
Yeah.
a rapidly growing user base,
Yeah.
a booming DeFi ecosystem,
Uh-huh.
and a thriving NFT scene.
And let's not forget those technical indicators
That's right.
suggesting a potential price surge.
Right.
It's an intriguing combination, but every investment comes with risks.
That's true.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, before we get too carried away,
Yeah.
with the potential upsides.
Right.
Let's take a step back and consider some of the potential challenges facing Tron.
Okay, good idea. The crypto space is incredibly competitive.
It is.
New projects are popping up all the time.
All the time.
And many of them are vying for the same users and market share as Tron.
Right, so competition is definitely something to keep in mind.
It is.
What else should investors be aware of?
Well, regulation is another big one.
Regulation, okay.
Governments around the world are still figuring out how to handle cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, they are.
We've seen some countries embrace crypto while others have taken a more restrictive approach.
Yeah.
This regulatory uncertainty could have a big impact on the market, and Tron is not immune to that.
Okay, so we've explored, the potential upsides of Tron.
We have.
The falling wedge pattern.
Yeah.
The impressive profitability, shrinking supply,
Right.
the growing user base, the DeFi and NFT activity.
It's all there.
It's all there, but also the potential risks,
Yeah.
like competition and regulatory uncertainty.
Right. It's always important to look at both sides of the coin, so to speak.
Absolutely.
No investment is without risk, and cryptocurrencies are particularly volatile.
Yeah, that's the truth. So zooming out a bit,
Okay.
where does Tron fit into the broader crypto landscape?
That's a great question. I think Tron occupies a unique niche.
It does.
It's not trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, it's focusing on specific areas where it can excel, like DeFi and NFTs, which we talked about earlier.
Yes, and those are areas with tremendous growth potential.
Absolutely.
DeFi is revolutionizing finance, and NFTs are changing the way we think about ownership and value.
I agree. Tron's early adoption of these technologies could give it a significant advantage.
Yeah.
In the long run.
In the long run, plus with its focus on scalability and low transaction fees.
Yeah.
Tron is well positioned to attract users who are looking for a more efficient and affordable alternative to some of the bigger blockchains.
Right. Ethereum, for all its strengths, has struggled with those high gas fees.
It has.
Tron offers a more user-friendly experience in that regard.
I think so. It's almost like Tron is the underdog.
The underdog.
That's quietly building a powerful ecosystem.
Under the radar.
Under the radar.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And just like any good underdog story,
Right.
There's always the possibility of a surprise upset.
There is.
If Tron can continue to execute on its vision and attract more users and developers, it could become a major force to be reckoned with.
It really could. So what does all this mean
Yeah.
for the average crypto enthusiast or investor?
Okay.
What should people be watching for when it comes to Tron?
First and foremost, I'd say pay attention to the growth of its ecosystem.
Okay.
Keep an eye on the number of users, the volume of transactions, and the development of new projects and applications on the Tron blockchain.
Yeah, those are all good indicators
They are.
of whether Tron is gaining traction
Right.
and fulfilling its potential.
Exactly. And secondly, watch for any major announcements or partnerships that could impact Tron's future.
Yeah.
Justin Sun is known for making bold moves,
He is.
so you never know what he might have up his sleeve.
All right, so watch the ecosystem and stay tuned for any game-changing news.
Yeah.
Got it. But the million-dollar question remains.
Okay.
Will TRX actually reach that predicted 72% jump?
If only we had a crystal ball.
Right.
Predicting the future of crypto is notoriously difficult.
It is.
There are so many factors at play, and the market can be incredibly unpredictable.
It can. That's the truth.
It is.
But hey, that's part of what makes it so exciting, right?
Absolutely. It's a wild ride.
It is.
But the possibilities are endless.
They are. And based on what we've seen in this deep dive,
Yeah.
Tron has the potential to be a major player
It does.
in the next chapter of the crypto story.
I agree. So where do we go from here?
Where do we go?
Yeah.
What's the parting thought for our listeners?
I'd encourage everyone to do their own research
Yes.
and draw their own conclusions about Tron.
Yeah.
Don't just take our word for it.
Right.
Dig into the data, explore the ecosystem, and decide for yourself whether Tron is an investment worth considering.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Good.
Knowledge is power. And in the world of crypto,
Yeah,
it's essential to be informed.
it is.
So to wrap things up, Tron is a cryptocurrency with a compelling story.
It is.
It's got the team and the vision to make a real impact. Whether it reaches that 72% jump or not, it's definitely a project worth watching closely.
I completely agree. This deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
You guys.
And I'm excited to see what the future holds for Tron.
Me too. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Tron.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy investing.